This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Indeed, it is. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in. We are inside our studio at the A-Cup House on the Opry Plaza. Kelly Sutton, Charlie Mattos. We've got Annie and I standing by. Jeff Roberts is back off of a little staycation, hopefully well rested, because we got a lot of things that we have to get to, and he has to help me load video and do all of the things. It is one of those days, though, we have just been discussing. It feels like a Monday. It's the Mondayest Tuesday that you're going to have all week.
And sometimes it's more Monday than others. Yes, I've had a Monday over here.
A lot of your stuff wasn't working. We're pushing new buttons. So, it's good. We're figuring it out. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's not brain surgery.
That's very true.
That's the key, right? I mean,
thank God.
Can't kill anybody over here.
No.
So, they would have been dead long ago. So. I saw the funniest post the other day, speaking of surgeries and stuff.
I love that we just segue into surgery.
No,
Happy Tuesday.
If you're old enough, you probably not, but for me, I remember the game Operation as a kid.
Oh, no, we had Operation.
I saw the funniest post that goes, hey, I just realized, did anybody ever notice this guy's awake during every one of these procedures? Like you're pulling every bone out of his body.
I said, there's another one that's like, this is where my anxiety started.
Yes.
And now apparently they have a newer operation that it's a timer. And if you don't get everything out, all the bones pop out all at the same time, which makes it even more terrifying. So if you want to induce some anxiety in your child,
there you go.
Get them Operation and see what happens.
Well, they induce it in me, so it should only be turn around.
Okay, so let's talk about what we got coming up here in just a little bit. Of course, entertainment headlines. I'll have those for you. A lot to talk about in entertainment. Lots of new music. Russell Dickerson has a new EP. Jordan Davis is already talking about a brand new album. So we've got that. Cody Johnson celebrating another #1. And Megan Maroney calling in the dogs. I'm not sure. It's one of those. By the way,
just
I made
call in the dogs.
Call in the dogs.
Not in. Just calling. Like calling the dogs.
That could be.
Yeah.
Call in the dogs.
Yes.
Okay, there it is. I made a factual error and I was called out earlier in the show.
This is horrible. What did you do? Go ahead.
I said Athens, Alabama instead of Athens, Georgia. My husband literally texted me, you said Athens, Alabama, and I threw up in my mouth. I demand retraction.
Okay, your only saving grace is there's a Buc-ee's in Athens, Alabama.
And we did a story about Keith Urban playing at the Buc-ee's in Athens, Alabama, and that's why.
But between the hedges, Athens, Georgia.
There you go. And they didn't even play in Athens when they played Clemson. They played in Atlanta.
Yes, the very neutral site.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Okay, entertainment headlines are coming up. Also, Mark and Maggie O'Connor coming in. That's going to be so special. If you haven't heard it, stay tuned because Mark just has so many amazing stories of Mr. Roy Acuff.
Yeah,
his connection to Roy is so
to when he was
incredible.
11 years old. Yeah. So, yeah.
Just amazing.
The musicianship is just
it's beautiful.
Off the charts.
Yeah.
So
we've got that coming up in just a little bit. Welcome in Coffee Country and Cody. You are listening to us on WSM. You are watching us on Circle Country or maybe Peacock or Roku or Vizio or any of the other places that we stream. Hello and welcome in as we talk about what's making entertainment headlines for us this morning. Found this video, had to share it. I didn't share it because it was my husband's favorite team. I just thought it was very funny, so I wanted to show everybody. But Megan Maroney, we love her. She is kind of on top of the charts and out there touring and doing all the things. And apparently she was also watching the Georgia Clemson game at a bar. And she stood on top of the bar and did a tradition that they do in Georgia. It's in Athens, Georgia, not Athens, Alabama, as I mistakenly said earlier. But in Athens, Georgia, it's a tradition that they call the dogs. So she did this in a bar. Take a listen.
Tonight, we have Megan Maroney, country music virgin superstar. She's going to call the dogs at kickoff right now. Ain't nothing finer in the land. They're drunk, obnoxious stars of fans. They're drunk, obnoxious stars of fans. Go dogs! Go dogs! Go dogs!
There's the whoa, 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 whoa. That's the best I got.
She does it pretty well,
Yeah.
I will say, and it is also penance for Tennessee Orange. So she has to win the fan base back over.
Very
you
true.
know, so
Well, she bought them all shots after that.
that goes a long way
Sure
to winning the
does.
fan base back. Yes,
Sure
bias
does.
booze. So woo, 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 woo.
We forgive you for that song, Tennessee Orange, because you bought everybody shots. In case you were wondering, Georgia went on to win that game, and it was in the neutral side of Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. How neutral is that? I don't know.
Yeah, so.
What are the weirdest things that you've had for breakfast? Let's go around the horn, shall we, Charlie?
Well, certainly, I think everybody's probably done the pizza thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cold pizza? It's great.
Yeah. Well, I've had
Pizza
not
the
even.
best. I do.
I've had not even cold. I've had like still out from the night before.
Yes.
So room temperature pizza would be the best way to phrase it.
A little bit hard. The cheese is hard.
Yeah, but
You're
not so.
teetering on getting some
Bacteria.
salmonella,
But not.
at
But
that
not.
point.
But not really. So, and on occasion, I will go through a kick of. There's too much stuff in the fridge. So
Okay.
what can I make that would be okay to eat for breakfast? So
Yeah.
I've had like Indian curry. I've had it's
Really?
just
Sure.
yeah. That's an odd start to the day.
I do
I've
agree.
actually Googled, is it okay to eat blank for breakfast? And I'll be, in certain cultures, this is a very common food to eat. So yeah.
I think mine would be barbecue because I've
Barbecue.
done a barbecue competition that started pretty early.
Okay.
So yeah, there have been times where I've had like ribs for breakfast. Not mad about it.
Right.
I liked it.
And you're certified, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, so I feel like that's a strong start. It's a good protein source. What about you?
I think
Annie?
I like kind of what Charlie said there because I will put anything into an omelet. Like I will just make an omelet with any leftover
That's
as
a
long
good
as
point.
it's
Has the
Nope,
egg base?
anything. Yes,
Yeah.
the egg base makes it a breakfast if you ask me. So really anything, but I also like a good bite of any dessert, chocolate cake, a pie.
Oh,
It
my.
has eggs. It has milk most of the time.
You're
Or-
talking cake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
there's an egg in there.
It's for sure, no, it is akin to a muffin. What's the
Right.
difference between muffin and
so
a cake?
true.
I mean, it's really right there.
That was my mom every morning. Slice of cake or a muffin or a piece of pie.
That's
with
living.
a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
see? All right.
Yeah.
So we're just giving everybody carte blanche this morning. Whatever you got in the fridge, pull it out, eat it for breakfast. You're going to feel great. You just
There you
get
go.
something on your stomach. It's nothing that you have to worry about. If it's beer, that's fine too, because then you're with Zach Top, and that's good company to be in.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And we welcome into the A-Cup house our friend Chayce. Hi, friend.
What's going on? How are you
Chayce
guys?
Beckham, it's good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
We were just reminiscing. It's been almost a year since
Yeah.
you made your Grand Ole Opry debut.
Yeah, it's been about a full year coming up here in October. October 18th will be the anniversary date. So it's exciting to get to keep on coming back and get a visit and play my songs.
And you're playing again tonight.
Playing again tonight,
Opry.
yep.
Yeah, this will be the third time.
Third time, yeah, third
Does
time.
it get any easier to think about?
Well, I mean, I think the first time there's so much, there's so much anxiety just because you're playing the Grand Ole Opry for the first time, and I remember thinking I was going to forget the words to 23, and I've sang that song thousands of times. And, it was like a certain pressure. I don't know, it's like almost like, I don't know really how to explain it. But it's a heavy feeling whenever you're going out there for the first time. The second time, I did feel a little bit more easygoing with it.
Yeah.
And, I think the first time I sang all the songs that I needed to sing. The second time, I only had to sing one song I needed to sing. And then this time around, I texted my day-to-day manager and I said, can I just sing whatever songs I want now? And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, you can sing whatever songs you want. And so now I feel like I get to go out tonight and sing songs that I love and that I just want to share with people. So it's cool because it just feels like, I don't know, I'm not trying to sell nothing or advertise nothing. I just want to sing music that I love.
Well, everyone says that first one is just, it's over before it starts.
Sure.
You're
Yeah.
introduced, you're out, and like you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that was like crazy fast.
Yeah, and I got to sing what I wanted to, but it's just like, you always feel like, oh, you got to sing 23 or the hit song or Everything I Need or whatever, and you should, but, sometimes it's nice to just kind of have that pressure taken off and get to go out and just sing songs I love on the stage at Grand Ole Opry.
Absolutely. Did you have a lot of family that were there that night? It
First
seemed
night was crazy.
It
and then
seemed like it.
The second night, nobody came.
Yanyon on that one. Yeah.
It was funny because the first night, I think you had so many people there just buzzing around the green room and everything. And the second night, it was me and my day-to-day manager and my girlfriend. That was it. We were just hanging out in there. I was like, this is kind of a lot more low pressure than last time, because not everybody's there watching you.
The cool part is, though, that while it feels like a concert to you, it is a radio show. So, they can still kind of live vicariously. It's like, we'll just listen at home.
We'll just listen in.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so, I know people who will listen and watch from home, and that's kind of just... kind of something that I'm okay with at that point, because last time we had so many people in town and everybody stayed at my house, and it was quite the.
There is
quite
something
the deal.
about like you're trying to host and make sure that everybody has what they need,
Good
and
time.
then
but I'm also working and trying to play and remember the words to my songs.
It's a lot. It's a lot to have on your plate at that time. So tonight, pressure's off. Just get to have a good
tonight,
time.
just have fun and sing songs that I love, and I'm really excited about that. And I feel like that's it's just a good feeling to get to keep coming back to like the Grand Ole Opry, and having the opportunity to share my love for the music that's helped me out so much throughout my life.
Well, and I'm looking at all the things that you've done in that 1 year. It's coming up on a year, as we mentioned, in October, and I thought, gosh, you've lived a lot of year. There's a lot that's happened in that year. You had your first number one. Congratulations,
thank you.
by the way. And I was just looking, so we celebrate, for people who are watching or listening right now and they don't understand what a number one party is, I do think it is very specific to country. I don't know that other genres do this, but we always celebrate. It's usually, significant amount of time after the song goes number one, but your publishers come together and your label comes together and your managers and all the people that have supported you. And then it's a chance for everybody to just be like, yeah, we did this thing. And I was looking, my friend Leslie, who's at BMI, said this is the first time in 16 years of me working here where I've ever hosted a number one party, and it was a solo write. You were the only person writing 23, which is really cool to think that all of that is, there's nobody that you share that with that is singularly yours.
It's real lonely up there on the stage whenever you
I bet.
you just sit up there by yourself,
You're like,
someone asked me the other
okay.
day, they said, do you think it'll feel better, or do you think that it feels that much better to do it? And I said, I don't know. I think it, writing songs with people that you love and that you really appreciate, who've done all this stuff for your life and who've taken the time to understand you, it might be even sweeter to get that win with them, you know what I mean? Because I was sitting up there like, I don't know what to do with myself. So I'd like a little company up there. So hopefully we get another one soon.
Do you remember the first time that you were playing it and people started singing it back to you? Because that's one of those moments where it's like, oh, okay, we may be onto something here.
I remember the first. It's like it trickled in little bit by little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hear the front row singing it back, and then after a little while, we started hearing the whole pit singing it back, and that was pretty cool. And then next thing you know, we were playing festivals with thousands of people, and they're all singing it back. And I think it was some of those moments. And we played a show with Luke Combs in Canada, and we opened up. It was like 6 o'clock or something like that, early in the night. But the place was already sold out, and I think they're French Canadians. They really didn't speak English, but they were singing that song back so loud. And I think that was the first time that we were like, wow, this is something special.
Man, just to have that experience. That has to be one of those that you're like, I'm doing everything that I need to be doing. I'm in the right place at the right time right now.
Yeah, it feels good. You get to travel the world, and we went to Canada first, and we started our tour in Australia this year, and, just being halfway across the world and seeing a few thousand people sing back, words that you wrote on your couch, in your apartment when you were 23. It's a crazy experience. I don't think you could put words into that kind of stuff. It's just one of the cooler things about getting to do this job.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
And we are catching up with Chayce Beckham before he heads over to the Grand Ole Opry, making his third appearance. And we already have a fourth one on the books, by the way. So just in case you can't make it tonight, you can always listen in on WSM, but then get your tickets later in October when he comes back to celebrate 1 year since he debuted at the Grand Ole Opry.
On my birthday.
That's right.
I mean, it wasn't planned that way, but I'll always remember your Opry debut now too. So it worked out well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I planned it that way.
You sure did.
So take me back a few years too, because I'm always curious what it's like to go from, a few thousand people maybe knowing who you are, or a few hundred really loyal fans, to suddenly like millions of people every week knowing exactly who you are. And that, it can be a great thing, but it can mess with you a little bit too if you're not ready for that kind of thing. American Idol obviously is what I'm referencing, but that was such a monumental thing. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably should have started going to therapy a little sooner, and learning about all this stuff. It's a big change, for anybody. And yeah, I feel like just having people to talk to and having a mentor, and like, for me, any of the tough stuff that I had to deal with, I was able to call, like Luke or Carrie, my manager, and, we could, they'd be able to point me in the right direction of anything that I really, was, concerned about. But, yeah, it's just a crazy thing to, just be able to get to do something that you love, like music, for work, and there's a catch side to everything like that, but it's awesome. The more people you see showing up at shows, and the more people you see getting in front of the music and listening to it, it's just like a really good feeling. That's what I'm trying to do, is get it out to as many people as I can.
There's certainly a trade-off. Like when you signed up because you wanted to be in this and you wanted to play your music, but then there is the trade-off of you lose your anonymity, you lose some of your privacy, you lose your private time. So what are some of the things that have been a part of that trade-off? But I know in the end you wouldn't change anything. This is what you wanted. But what are some of the things that you see now that you're like, okay, that's always going to be different for me?
I think I think a big thing is just honestly just being at home, and just spending time at home with your family, and getting to see, just like my nieces and nephews grow up, and birthday parties and stuff like that. Like you're going to miss a lot of that stuff, and it's just kind of what comes with the territory. But, they understand what I'm doing, and they love and support me, and know that what I'm doing, it's going to take the next, about 15 years. And a lot of people in my family, I feel like, have had to kind of come to, terms with that kind of stuff, and just realize over the last few years that that's kind of just what it is. I remember the first year it was, real hard on my mom, just me up and moving across the country, and then just not seeing her really except for once or twice a year. For like holidays, or if they could come to a show. But like you see people at a show and it's just for, an hour or so backstage before you got to get on the bus and go to the next place or whatever happens. So, yeah, just stuff like that. But it's all part of it, and you get to come out here and live your dream. And, like they say, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And but I'm just grateful, if I was at home working blue collar, spending time with my family, it definitely gave me that perspective of I'd be happy either way, whichever way, God wants to take me in my life. I'm just grateful for it. So
Soaking it in.
Yeah, just living.
So the album is out as well, Bad For Me. Already have a number one on the album, which is real nice. It's nice to have an album out and have a number one in there. So give us some insight about the album and what you want people to know about it.
Yeah, it's my first album. It's my debut album, something that I've always dreamed of in a sense. And I guess whenever that came to reality, that was a whole nother accomplishment for myself, just as the making of the album and getting to do it. And it's a song, or a group of songs that I think just really talk about, for me, just kind of growing out of my old self and into my new self, and seeing where that goes, and letting go of old things, and just it talks about a lot of stuff that I feel like I've always wanted to talk about in my music, but I just never really had the chance to just have full creative control over a whole project and be able to put a whole message out. So I feel like I said a lot of the things I've been wanting to say for a while, and now I can maybe move on musically to other things. So
how hard was it to say it's finished? Because it's your debut album, and you want to tinker, and you want to mess with this one, and let me just get in there, and can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
So when did you have to just go, okay, it's finished, I'm finished?
Me and my producer, Bart Butler, whenever we would work on the songs, I think we both had like like the most common phrase throughout the entire process was, "Well, what's wrong with that?" Like we'd listen to something and and when we said that was that closed the book because
I love that.
we spent weeks and months trying to, but we didn't have that much time actually to make this thing, and we had to turn it in by a certain point of time. So we kind of got to the point where we'd listen to the records and we'd say, well, what's the matter with that? And once we'd say that, then it'd be closed book on that one and on to the next. So
Out of curiosity,
it was hard though to get to that point.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, was 23 a no-brainer to make the record? Because sometimes we found that the biggest thing on a record was like the last song we put on. We needed one more, and this was the one that felt right.
Yeah.
Or was it just an easy one?
I mean, it was kind of just at the time that was what was trending for me on the radio, and we were gonna push for number one. We didn't know if we were gonna get it or not, but the goal was to get the number one and then release the record. And fortunately, it did work out that way. But that we didn't know at the time, and so it just kind of was. Even though the song was 2 years old, and still growing though, we just decided it should just go on there, and it's a part of my story as well, and so it's kind of cool just to put it towards the end and takes you back to where it all started for me.
I think between the three, like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, it's like getting close to like 1 billion, right? I mean, that's like there's only like how many people in the world? Like 2 billion? That's like insane when you think about it.
Go for all 2 billion. Yeah. I think we should. Before you leave us, we're going to play Everything I Need. So tell us about this song.
Yeah, Everything I Need. It's the only happy song on the record, so they made me put one on there.
All right.
And no, I think there's a couple fun songs on there, but that's probably one of the more like optimistic ones. And it's a song that whenever I grew up, I used to love songs like "It's a Great Day to Be Alive" and "Where the Green Grass Grows," and just songs that made you just feel good. And so I wanted to write a song that kind of embodied that kind of energy, and just to remind people that all you need is your friends and your family and the people around you, and it doesn't take a whole lot to be happy. All that other stuff, it's just stuff, and it's the people in your company around you that really make the difference. So it's just about appreciating those things and recognizing it and opening your eyes to the optimistic side of life. And I felt like that was just a good message to put out for the summertime, and with all the stuff going on, everybody might need to hear something like that. So that's why we put it out.
Everything I Need. Chayce Beckham on his way to the Grand Ole Opry and hanging out with Parker McCollum later this fall, so you can get your tickets and go see them on tour. Thanks for stopping by, friend.
Thank you guys. Good to see you all.